This is New Amsterdam Vape, and in this video, I'll be reviewing the Tsunami 24 RDA by Geek Vape. The Tsunami 24 is exactly the same as the Tsunami RDA with an increased diameter to 24 millimeters. Geek Vape has upscaled all of their products to the 24 to 25 millimeter range, making for all-around better performing tanks and drippers. The added diameter to the Tsunami allows for more room in the well for wicking and extra liquid. The diameter is 24 millimeters, with a height of 39 millimeters from the base of the deck to the top of the drip tip, and a height of 29 millimeters from the base of the deck to the top of the chamber. There's three main components to the Tsunami: the deck, the chamber that goes over the deck, and the widebore Delrin drip tip. The Tsunami 24 also comes with a screwdriver with spare hardened screws, an extra widebore Delrin drip tip, a 510 Delrin drip tip with a 510 drip tip adapter. There's also a squonk pin included, which allows the Tsunami to work with any squonker type device, which feeds liquid to the coils through the connection pin. There's also spare O-rings. Looking at both versions of the Tsunami side by side, apart from the added diameter, they're almost identical. The airflow holes on both versions are the same diameter at 4 millimeters each. The dimensions for the post holes are exactly the same, and the bottom airflow holes in the deck are almost identical, except the Tsunami 24 is a tenth of a millimeter wider. The only real difference is the width of the deck, which gives the well 2 millimeters more space than the previous version. Looking at the Tsunami up close, the RDA is definitely wider than most, but not too tall overall. There's threads that allow the widebore drip tip to screw into the chamber. The extra widebore drip tip is a bit wider than the triangular shaped drip tip, but I like the triangular one more. The 510 drip tip adapter is easy to screw in and out of the chamber with the 510 drip tip attached, otherwise it's a bit difficult to get out on its own. The 510 connection has an adjustable gold-plated pin, which allows this RDA to work with most any device. You can swap this pin out for the hollow pin to use with any squonker type devices. There's 3 airflow holes on the chamber for the bottom airflow. You can choose between using both slots or just one slot for single coil building. You can turn the chamber around the deck to throttle the airflow. Looking at the deck, it's exactly the same as the previous version. The well is 2 millimeters wider, which allows for more wicking material and liquid, but the well is the same 8 millimeter depth. The velocity posts are the same, with one post surrounded by an insulator that screws into the bottom of the well to the adjustable pin. The screws in the velocity posts are hardened screws that hold up very well, but the same can't be said for the screwdriver that's included. I'd recommend getting a hardened Allen tool for these screws, and you should have no problem with stripping. I made a dual Clapton coil build with ease on these velocity posts. This has been my standard build on all of these velocity style posts. The wider diameter allows for even larger builds to fit into the deck. You can keep the wicks a little long and thick, stuffing them to the sides of the bottom airflow holes. There's a lot of room in the sides compared to the previous version, and the liquid reaches these corners easier when dripped into the center. It's important to keep a gap over the bottom airflow holes so the airflow is not blocked, and so the wicks won't drop liquid down into the airflow holes. Leaking can be an issue if you over drip on the coils, but I haven't had any issues with leaking. Gently apply the liquid to the wicks and the center of the well for the wicks to soak up. Applying the liquid too fast will cause it to spill off the sides or into the airflow slots. I found that these wells hold quite a bit of liquid, so you don't have to re-drip as often. Burn the coils for a bit after priming to get rid of the cotton taste from the fresh wicks and coils. With the coils wicked and primed, I'll put on the chamber and give this a good vape. My dual Clapton coils came to 0.25 ohms, and I tested these between 35 to 70 watts, with 50 watts being my sweet spot. The airflow is identical to the 22 millimeter version. It's still a good amount of airflow that can provide a lot of cloud production. I found better flavor when the wattage was turned down a bit. The performance of the Tsunami 24 is exactly the same, but with the added diameter, I was able to put a lot more liquid so I had to drip less often. Moving on to the pros and cons. As a pro, the increased size adds more well space for wicks and liquid, as well as more building space for coils. 22 millimeter RDAs can be a bit limiting at that size, so it's nice to have some extra room to work with. I liked the previous version of the Tsunami a lot, and the Tsunami 24 is identical in every way, performing just as well. If you like the Tsunami, or if you want to get one, I'd recommend getting the 24 millimeter version. The price is another pro. You can find the Tsunami 24 in the $30 range, which is a good deal for a great performing, large diameter bottom airflow RDA. Remember, if you order from heavengifts.com, you can get 15% off with the coupon code ANEWAMSTERDAM. Moving on to the cons, I still have the same con as the previous version. I really wish that the chamber was 2 pieces. This would allow me to remove the very top part to easily apply liquid directly to the coils and wicks. With the 1-piece chamber, I have to remove the whole chamber, which allows the liquid to drop over the sides of the deck. You can drip the liquid through the drip tip to get to the well, but I like applying liquid directly to the coils. The screws are hardened screws that will hold up really well against stripping, but the screwdriver is still flimsy. I really recommend getting a hardened Allen tool to use with any of these Velocity-style post decks so you don't have to worry about stripping screwdrivers. Overall, the Tsunami 24 is a great performing RDA that can produce a lot of clouds, but can also work for flavor chasers. I really like the move to larger diameter tanks and drippers from Geek Vape, and I hope to see a lot of this from other manufacturers. We've already seen the velocity post spread to most every atomizer out there, and I feel that larger diameters will be most welcomed. Most people may not enjoy the larger profile on their devices, but I haven't had any issue with these 24 or 25mm atomizers on my mods. This is New Amsterdam Vape, and if you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe.